Hello there, this is John Stanley. As some of you are aware, I've just come back from Malaysia, and not only was I looking at the shopping centres, but look at some of the marketing in the markets. And the markets are fascinating in this part of the world, just to see how local businesses are doing their retailing. How are they selling the fresh offer in such a difficult climate? And what are the standards being set as far as farmers' markets are concerned in this part of the world? First of all, let's move up to Langkawi, which is a small island off the west coast of Malaysia, and they had a night market. What I did enjoy was this was a night market that moved to a different town every day, which means most of the stalls had to be put on wheels. So you can see from this nasi ayam stand, what we've got is something that can be wheeled around very easily, while others had to put up the marquee and start from scratch as far as their stands were concerned. I do enjoy looking at some of the more unusual produce, and of course this is the land of the durian, the fruit that has, some would say, the most obnoxious smell of any fruit in the world, but has one of the most delicate of tastes. And of course cooking is quite a part of the market. A lot of fresh meat products and people do come to eat in the markets. So again, the portable kitchen is one of the features as far as the market is concerned. And look at the way the fruit is prepared here. So the durian are very delicately cut just to show the real meat, if you like, of the fruit. And back to that cooking, I love these great dishes that you can select from. Great place to eat. And 2 ringgits and you can get yourself a meal for the evening. And squid, hung up, fresh, along with the salads. So what we've got is the water vegetable and the fresh squid all ready for the consumer to take home. Because when it comes to the wet market, it's interesting how fish is sold. What you get are these plates of fish that have just freshly been caught that day. And some of them can be a bit on the weird side, but at least you know it's fresh. And the fish literally has just stopped flipping from that point of view. Some of the cooking using these interesting little cups to produce some cakes. Some were sweet, some were delicate, but again shows these opportunity. And look at this good merchandising. They've got the skirt there, they've got the 3 levels, they've got the signage there. This is an appealing display that really grabbed my eye from that point of view. Compare it with this display where they haven't got the skirt, they haven't tiered the fruit, they've used amateur signage, 2 stands next to each other with a completely different message as far as the consumer was concerned. How about this for novelty? These are the tropical bean, but look at the way they've been displayed on the back of a motorbike. And this local farmer just drives his motorbike into the market and just parks the motorbike and he's got a display. How about offal? What we've got here is the offal, the tripe, the hearts, the liver from the cattle, etc. And it's brought into a stew. So the stew is in the large container that you can see, brought to the heat, and then you get all of the animal being used from a cooking point of view. But selling is still selling. And you've got to be proactive when you're selling. And alas, this poor woman was just not in the marketing mode when I went up to her stand. She was ignoring all customers. It was a good book. Why should she be proactive? The skills of retailing are still the same. We've got this big debate in Australia about hours of opening. One of the markets was a night market. It opened at 11:30 at night and closed at 4 o'clock in the morning. This market not only had fresh produce, but it had clothing as well. It was a market that was full of life. This picture was taken at 2 in the morning. There were karaoke singers at 2 in the morning. And this is not a good slide, but 6-7-year-old as a fire eater was part of the theatre. Not that I approve of the activity, but it just shows the excitement that's going on. And of course, again, food is a big issue. And we ended up having our evening meal at 2 o'clock at night. The next morning, we went to a Hindu temple. Look at the way the Hindus are displaying these tapioca cakes. Talk about professional retailing. This was professional pop-up retailing at its best. The skirt matched the display. The whole thing looked clean. This was a professional pop-up retailer. So what's your action plan from going around the markets? Markets are always a global learning experience. The produce is always different, but it's about entertainment, it's about education. It's being prepared to experiment. That's what we need to do in our farmers' markets and markets. Entertain, educate and experiment. This is John Stanley, the Retail Guru. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you for joining me looking around some of the Malaysian markets.